Go Island is brought to you by German Auto Import Network.
Today on Go Island, we're talking to one tough chick. Rhonda Heaslip is the national champion 9 times over, as well as the Commonwealth champion for powerlifting. We're going to get into some of the details on that, as well as something kind of cool that she's doing for the BC Children's Hospital. On today's show, bringing Canada's oldest sailboat back to life, sharing a love for local food, and Dan Kahn on idioms. That and more in the next 30 minutes. Rhonda Heaslip on the foam roller, getting ready for her workout here at Nanaimo Athletic Club. We're going to talk with Rhonda later on this edition of Go Island about her powerlifting championships, the records that she holds, and why she's just so darn good at it. But first, she is affectionately known as Dorothy, not Rhonda. We're talking about something called Dorothy. It's a sailboat. It's Canada's oldest sailboat once it's restored, and Aunt Lucas now introduces us to the man who's doing that on Gabriola Island. Rhonda Heaslip has been powerlifting since 1979, and I asked you, why powerlifting? And you said, well, it's not a glamorous sport, but what is it that you like so much about it?
I like that it challenges your strength, both physically and mentally. It's taught me over the years that if I don't believe I'm capable of something, I'm not going to be able to do it, even if my body is capable of doing it. So it's taught me to train my brain and to reshape the way I think, and that's bled into all aspects of my life: parenting, being a wife, being a realtor. I've been a carpenter and an aircraft mechanic, and a powerlifter. So I like the physicality of it. I like the fact that it's cut and dried. You either made the lift or you didn't in competition. You are either stronger than your competitor or you're not. And it's all about what you've got inside. That's what really keeps me going and attracted me to it in the first place.
Is it kind of a man's sport? Are more women getting into it?
Well, I attended the first Worlds ever held in 1980 in Boston, and then there were 18 countries. And a lot of women were not in the sport then. In fact, when I started going to the gym, there were no women in the weight room. I was the only one there. But the sport's grown and evolved, and now there's 23 countries, and I see a lot of competitors, really good competitors from all parts of the planet.
Is it training? Is it the mental preparedness that you mentioned, or is there something to do with your body composition that makes you so good at what you do?
I think that, probably some of it is genetics. I'm short. My dad was very strong, short Icelander, strong as a house. So I know I've got some of that. But what makes an athlete isn't necessarily the genetics. You can have all the God-given genetics in the world, but if you don't have the heart and the spirit for it and you're not willing to do the work, you will never be a champion. You need to have the whole package. There has to be the desire, not just the body, but there has to be the passion and desire.
Okay, we're going to talk a bit more about some of that passion and desire and look at some of the technique later on this edition of Go Island. In the meantime, we're heading down to Ladysmith. It's not a press for newspaper, but rather a press for fine art, transferring images onto fine art paper. Here's Jocelyn Maui. Still to come today on Go Island, cooking local in Cobble Hill, ATVing in the backwoods of Fort St. John, and Dan Kahn talks idioms in Victoria. That and more still to come today on Go. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. This is Rhonda Heaslip. She's training to beat a world's record in the bench press, which is why she doesn't have any actual weights on her squat bar today. She does hold the Canadian record at 324 pounds, but she's on a mission to beat this world record in Orlando on, I believe, September the 25th. And she'll be doing a big event at Woodgrove Center on September the 7th. We're going to tell you all about that later on this edition of Go Island. But first, we're heading down to Cobble Hill. There's a group of women there who have put their heads, their experience, their skills, and their passion for local food together. It's a new cookbook called Eat BC. I always delude myself and think that I'll have time to follow recipes like that in cookbooks like that, but it does look like a great source for great ideas on how to use local ingredients. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. Rhonda Heaslip is here getting ready to set a world record in bench press. And you're not going to put any weight on here today because...
Because Wednesday I benched and I did 8 sets of 2 with 230 pounds, and then I followed that up with pin press for 6 sets of 3 working up to 245, which is 2.5 pounds over the world record, so I can start handling it and getting used to it. By the time I was done that, my nervous system was shot. I can only handle that kind of training once a week. So today is just, I'm going to demonstrate the movement for you.
Okay, I'll let you go ahead and demonstrate the movement. We're going to work on some deadlifts a bit later on this edition of Go Island, and this woman is just so inspiring. Show us the motions here, Rhonda, and I'm going to keep talking. We're going to throw things over to our Arbutus RV's big summer installment. We're heading to Fort St. John to ride in the backwoods with an ATV. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. We're getting inspired for strength today here at the Nanaimo Athletic Club. Rhonda Heaslip is about to set a world record for bench lift and or bench press, I should say.
Bench press, yeah.
Okay. On September 7th, you're going to be exhibiting at Woodgrove Centre, and
Yes.
you've been trying to raise money for the BC Children's Hospital.
Yes.
Why the BC Children's Hospital?
Well, it's our hospital. Our kids on this island all go to that hospital when they need their help. And I think everybody on this island knows of somebody who's at some point in time needed the services of BC Children's.
Have you personally or anyone in your family?
I'm very fortunate. I'm a mother of 3 and a grandmother of 3, but I know what lengths I would have gone to if any of my children needed that hospital. Nothing but the best for your children. I mean, that's what your life is about, truly, once you have them. And I do respect and recognize that when I see people at Children's dealing with illness. You know, it's heartbreaking.
So how can you use your powerlifting to raise money to give to the hospital?
Well, you know, if people want to have, you know, if they've got deep pockets like a business, they could sponsor me $1 a pound, but I'm going to total over 900. So if they want to do that, I welcome it. Or you can just put $20 down. It's tax deductible at $20 or more. $5, it doesn't matter to me. Every bit counts. It's all going to help build the new BC Children's Hospital. It's going to help our children. And I think that charity begins at home, and children are our future, and that's why I'm doing it.
So on September 7th at Woodgrove Centre by the clock in Centre Court there, what's going to happen? What's the energy going to be like, and what can people see?
Well, I'm going to do a big deadlift. I'm 18 days away from the Worlds at that point. So I'm just going to do my deadlift workout right there, and people can see what I do in the gym, and I'll do one big single pull, and they'll be able to see a respectable amount of weight. At that point in time, I'll be peaking, I'll be getting close to my competition numbers, and you know, they can see it up close and personal, and not every day I think that you get to see a world-class lifter, you know, on platform right in front of you.
Excellent. Rhonda, thank you so much. That brings us to the end of this edition of Go Island. Rhonda Heaslip just beginning her workout here at Nanaimo Athletic Club. And I'm trying to get my head around all the records and championships and regions you currently hold in deadlift.
I have a 357.5 pound deadlift, which was 2011 world gold, Canadian record, and a Commonwealth record.
Okay, so you're in essence going out to break your own record.
Well, pretty much. My main goal is the world record in the bench press. It's the year of the bench.
The year of the bench. And also in 2011, Rhonda raised $3,600 for the new emergency ward at Nanaimo Regional General Hospital. In 2013, she's raising money for kids at the BC Children's Hospital. You can catch Rhonda exhibitioning at Woodgrove Centre on September the 7th, 2 o'clock, where she will be taking donations. For more information, raisethebarforkids.ca. And once again, Rhonda is heading to Orlando, Florida on September 25th to break that bench press record. Thanks for watching this edition of Go Island. We'll see you next time.
Go Island is brought to you by German Auto Import Network. Clothing supplied by Catwalk Fashions. Kate's hair and aesthetics provided by Matteo Salon.